You should watch this movie, Shawnee.
But why, Nathan?
Are you asking me why should I watch? You are listening to Why Should I Watch, the podcast about movies and ideas. Good afternoon.
Hello, Nathan.
Hi.
Hello, Chris Ferraro,
Hey,
our
Chris
guest
Ferraro
speak
again.
for the week.
Hey, boys.
Is back by popular demand.
Mm-hmm.
From our last two episodes.
We're doing a quick little future review on Justice League.
Yep, the new Justice League.
The new, gathering of DC characters fighting an ultimate evil.
Yep.
Sounds quite familiar
Original?
to
Original. Oh, yeah.
another
Yeah.
superhero film,
Yep.
just like it.
Oh, we love superheroes, don't we?
If you haven't catched our huge pot on it, well then
Yeah.
give that a shot first, because we really delved deep into the last 10 years.
The Marvel one. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris Ferraro did a great job explaining it to us and telling us why should we watch or rewatch if you haven't seen some of those older films. So we're going to dive in. What do we think of the new Justice League film?
Justice
League. Well, look, we've got a trailer so far. We got two trailers. In terms of action scenes, it definitely looks promising. But we've had a bit of a rough stint with DC movies in most recent times. The only good one so far being Wonder Woman.
Yeah, great. Can attest to that.
Yeah, well,
I
I
didn't see the others.
have yet to see that one. I've seen Suicide Squad, and that was a bit of an ordinary.
Oh yeah.
Watch.
Did we all see that together, or was that?
No, I think I saw
that.
that.
How was Man of Steel, Ferraro?
Man of Steel. I watched that recently, actually.
Was that 2013?
2014?
It was a while ago.
Was
but
it good or bad?
It was. I probably could have slept through it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Not a fan of DC?
I don't mind DC. It's just they're having a very hard time making a decent movie. Like it's not lighthearted enough. They're always very, very serious.
Christopher Nolan Batman's kind of made a meme out of it. It was all of them were very brooding and dark.
Yeah,
and
but
depressing.
see, Christopher Nolan did it right. The other ones, they're sort
Batman.
of yes, for the Batman movies, they were done right. Like they were all really well presented and sold. Suicide Squad was a bit more lighthearted, but at the same time, it just I don't know. It was just lacking in depth of the story, and
Is it a problem of too many characters?
No,
like
not
Suicide
necessarily, because Marvel seemed to do it all right.
That's true.
But Marvel's given them that little bit of extra background.
Yeah, see,
given them
they've had
an
an initial startup
Yeah.
leading up to their group stories, which is probably the big reason, because then they've got to try and fit all the backstory into that one big movie, which cuts into the actual movie time.
Yeah, that's true.
So that probably is one of the big factors of why they're never as successful.
Do you think Suicide Squad was just sort of an attempt to kind of catch up with how Marvel's going? How they're all collaborating now?
Yeah.
Do you think they would have put in Suicide Squad just to kind of test it out, like a bit of a all these universes are coming together, let's try and do something like that?
The only characters from the Justice League that we've actually seen on screen, Wonder Woman, Batman, and I'm not sure if he's going to make an appearance. I'm sure he will, but Superman.
Yeah.
Those are the only three, and that was from a failed movie as well, which is Batman versus Superman. I wouldn't say failed, but it was not up to the standard of what people start to
What did you
expect
think
these
of
days.
Batman versus Superman, Fro?
Look, I didn't mind it too much, but
Oh, wow.
again, I wouldn't call it the best movie.
You'd sleep
I've
through
heard
it?
the extended version was a lot better.
Okay.
The theatrical cut took out a lot. The
Yeah,
stuff about the mothers being the same name. So they connected or something. What was it?
Yeah, because
What was his name? Grace or Marcy or something?
Mary.
Mary. Close enough.
Oh, sorry, Martha.
Close enough.
But yeah.
Didn't have a name.
No, that's because it's sort of just he's lying there, he's about to stab him, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Martha, and he's like, what is it with that name? And it's just like, oh, okay,
So lame.
they have the same name, so that just ruins his will to fucking to kill him.
Yeah.
Pardon my language. So it's just But yeah, the Justice League. Who do we even know who the villain's going to be?
Some
I don't know.
all-powerful god, I don't know, deity.
A deity.
The
Joker?
usual.
I know the Joker was in the Suicide
Joker.
Squad.
What's your DC knowledge like? Not as much as Marvel.
Not as much
I'm
as Marvel,
guessing.
but it's still up there. Like I do a bit of research on DC as well sometimes, just because I find it interesting.
Yeah.
Like I've watched the Arrow TV series and
Yep.
That's
and all
part
that
of
stuff.
DC.
That's
Yeah.
part of DC.
They're not going to be in this
That's
Justice
its
League, are
whole universe.
Who's in the Justice League?
So we've got Aquaman,
Yep.
Flash,
Yeah.
Batman, Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
and I believe Superman. Oh, and also Cyborg. Sorry,
Okay.
Oh,
Don't know who Cyborg is.
Cyborg. If you watch the Teen Titan cartoon
I must have missed
series, He's part of the Teen Titans usually, but they've sort of
What does he
upgraded him
look
to
like?
He's
Isn't he like black with like a half
dark skinned
robotic-
with he's a cyborg basically.
Okay,
so
cyborg,
parts of
yeah.
him are robot,
Yeah.
parts of him are human.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cyclops.
Like-
I'm thinking one eye.
Oh no,
Cyclops,
that's
Like the Terminator.
that's Marvel.
like Leela. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the that's Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think that, like, because the Wonder Woman had a bit more comedy? Have you seen?
I have not
Okay,
seen that one
okay,
actually. I need to catch up on that.
So there was a bit more. It was a bit like with Gal Gadot's acting and stuff. Like the part of the humor was that she's like on this Amazonian island, away from the world.
Yes.
So when she comes into the real world,
She doesn't know
understand.
anything. Yeah, I can understand. Where
And it's
that
her
comes
like
from.
learning. So it's a bit more lighthearted than not like to the level of Deadpool and Spider-Man where it's like how funny is this in a comic book?
Yeah.
But the humor came out of the character.
Yes.
Do you think they need to keep that in the Justice League? Because if it's so serious about Batman, you know, like Batman and Superman, like connecting over their
Humor
mother's
plays
name.
such a big part in movies these days because
Yeah.
if it's too serious, then you're not going to capture some of the audience that aren't there for just a very, I have to think very hard about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
movie and pay attention sort of thing. Where
Yeah. You want to enjoy it
the,
as a
the
movie.
humor breaks it up.
Yeah.
It makes it that little bit, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's watch again. Let's
Yeah,
keep watching.
well, that's why I always prefer comedies. I think most of the movies that I haven't, like with some of the Marvel ones, it's the more serious ones where I'm like, I've got to sit through like 2 hours of like
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, well,
you know.
with the Marvel movies, they all have snippets of comedy in them, which is
Yeah,
which is why they sort of. I
Yeah.
mean, there's those few which haven't done as well, which aren't as funny, I would say.
Like
but
Thor 2.
yeah, Thor 2 was a
Yeah.
little bit more
But
serious.
there's an interesting thing there that like maybe the box office correlation goes with the seriousness of the movie. The movie's too serious, people switch off to it a bit.
But if people expect it to be serious, then that's a different thing because they're going into a serious movie. But like, they go into a Marvel movie, they expect it to be a little bit funny, but a little bit
Yeah.
full of action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all
Wacky
that.
hijinks.
Whereas at DC, I guess in terms of the Batman movies, they expected them to be fairly serious. That's how they were
Yeah.
projected.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, it was projected as a little bit of a funny, comedy sort of
Action-packed.
action movie,
Yeah.
but then it was lacking in story because it had to,
Pack too much in.
pack too much in.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hit and miss, isn't it? Like even what happened with the Superman movies that they tried to reboot?
Superman's another bit of a weird one because
Was it 2006?
They've had a few reboots.
I think they've had 3 movies
Yeah.
in the more recent times.
Well, there's the 2006 one. I think was there Kevin Spacey in that one? Ugh. As Lex Luthor. Uh-oh.
Well, there was the one I remember. It was a Superman one, and he's on a. Is it Man of Steel? Maybe
That's the one where that actually links up to.
he's on a boat or something. There's like
Yes, yeah. That actually links
something-
up to the Batman vs Superman movie.
is that the same actor?
Yes.
Man of Steel.
Henry Cavill.
I feel like there was
Yeah.
a Superman movie.
There was a 2006
Yeah,
one.
there
It
was-
was a 2006.
there
and
was
it a
one before
fail.
that.
Yeah.
Who was in that?
It was Superman Returns, I think it was.
Yes, Superman Returns.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and,
gosh! And Smallville was going on at the same time.
Oh, yeah, Smallville.
God.
Yeah, Smallville, yeah.
Going right.
But yeah, like the Superman Man of Steel actually links up to the Batman vs Superman because of General Zod, the man from Krypton who invades and all that links up. The ship's still in the middle of New York and Lex Luthor gets access to it and all that stuff.
Lex
Which
Luthor, that's it.
yeah, that's a whole big part of the story and all that. Which is great. I mean, it's good that they're starting to sort of link it up
Yeah.
because they're making their own universe that's linked, which is it's something they probably should have
This
done.
hasn't
a lot
been done
earlier.
as well as Marvel.
So-
They're trying to jump into it rather than let's build up our characters before we
Yeah.
throw them together.
Yeah, so Superman Returns was like a homage sequel, it says. So it wasn't its like own movie. Bryan Singer, the X-Men director, rumoured pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh really? Lovely.
Got to call it early because everyone's coming out.
Everyone
now.
is now. Everyone is. Everyone is.
We have to call it early. So
Yeah, because that was supposed to be a little bit of a sequel
Brandon
to the
Ruth played Spider-Man.
Who?
And now,
Superman. You mean?
What did I say?
You said Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I confused the two.
Brandon Ruth.
So
Brandon Ruth.
because that was
He was
supposed to be a
never
little bit
again.
of a sequel to the original Superman movies, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the-
that was it was the
Christopher
it was a
Reeves.
sequel,
Yes.
That's why it's like a homage sequel. That's an odd.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando. Oh yeah. They're classics apparently. They're very cheesy.
Yeah, again, like
Oh, they are extremely cheesy.
it's turning into like our future reviews are just being like, how can like we're just thinking the movies are going to be terrible.
How can it get possibly worse? These
Well, like
films?
how I think it's more like how like with the Jumanji, like how could it be good? Like
Well, we don't know much about Justice League though. I mean,
Yeah,
well, there's a lot of potential, especially with Aquaman. I'm interested to see how he comes out in film. Jason Momoa, because we saw him. Aquaman. He was at Comic-Con.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We didn't go up and meet him, but we saw him. Like,
I'm excited for Aquaman.
It's funny because Aquaman used to be one of the the more useless DC characters, but they've actually beefed him up and given him like a decent.
Did you ever watch the show Entourage? Because it was the whole storyline of the main character Vince being the Hollywood actor, and he was and Aquaman took over Spider-Man as the highest grossing film weekend. Yeah, and James Cameron directed it.
Oh, okay.
in the story, Aquaman was the biggest character of all time in that universe.
Is Aquaman getting a spin-off? I think he's getting a spin-off.
Yeah, he's getting his own film.
I think all of the characters will. So you'll get Cyborg, you'll get Flash, you'll get Aquaman, and...
But isn't Flash there a TV show, or is that different?
It's a different universe once again. See, because you've got what's called the Arrowverse. So you've got the TV show Arrow, which has brought in these DC characters and all that stuff. That's its own universe. That's a TV series.
That's a DC television universe.
DC television universe.
That Flash is in Arrow.
Yes.
Will the same actor of that Flash be in the film?
No.
Oh my god.
It's a different actor. It's a different actor and a different Flash.
Why make it that complicated?
It's like a different version of Flash. Right? There are different Flashes though. There are again same with Spider-Man. How Peter Parker's not the only Spider-Man. Yeah. There's different people who play.
Okay.
Flash.
It's like Bond, like a code name.
Also, Black Canary, another DC character. There's about four different people who are the Black Canary or the Canary.
What? This is so
it's sort of like passing the mantle on, because the way Flash's powers work, he's not just a fast guy. He can tap into what's it called, the Flash Force, I think it is, or Speed Force, sorry.
Yeah.
And he's not the only person who can do it, right? Because I haven't actually watched the Flash TV series yet, but he fights against people who can also tap into the Speed Force, which is
interesting.
That makes him move really fast.
Oh.
So there's whole backstories to these characters which we don't even,
they haven't been given.
I don't know if they'll be introduced in Justice League, or it's just like, here's your characters, let's have a fight. I'm hoping they don't just do that, because it destroys the whole thing. But then if they put too much into the backstories in that big movie, that's when we lose quality of the story, like we did with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
In Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman's in it. Does she fight with Batman and Superman?
She fights with them.
With them, not against.
Not against.
Because
what happens is Lex Luthor becomes the big villain, summons up this big thing from General Zod's ship, and that's when they all fight together.
And is that going to be because they're the Justice League is obviously going to be set after that, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So there's going to be fallout from that, and then
possibly.
Yeah, and then there'll be whichever villain. Did Lex Luthor get destroyed in that?
He was sent to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we want to know. Well, we were going to look at the budget. Let's have it.
Yeah, I do want to...
So, no, you can say it. Sean. I just had to put the
No, we're trying to be nice and put our phones on airplane mode so it doesn't pick up any static.
We've had a problem with static. Yeah.
But I like doing the game where...
You can spell league properly.
Okay. League. We like to do the game where we guess the box office and what rating it'll get.
Oh, jeez.
I know, it's very, very stressful.
I'm going to have to sit out of this one. I've got no idea.
Hang on.
What's up?
In Justice League, the superhero team forms to honor Superman following his death and to save the planet from the catastrophic threat of Steppenwolf and his army of parademons.
Okay.
Steppenwolf is that guy. It's he does look like a demon.
Who is he?
I believe Steppenwolf is...
Is this the Justice League movies?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says for the plot.
Like something out of World of Warcraft.
The budget is $300 million.
Oh, gee.
That's got to be one of the highest budgets of all time.
Is that including that?
You know what? It'll be
marketing,
and it's going to be two-hour movies.
60% of it will be special effects.
I guess who's producing it? Rat Pack Entertainment.
Rat Pack.
Yeah, Brett Ratner, James Packer.
Oh wow. No.
All right, so the box office predictions on Wikipedia are they reckon opening weekend to be 110 to 120.
Yeah,
and a total domestic gross of 330 million.
Ooh, so they will.
And usually double that for international. So they reckon they're expecting
I reckon
660 or
it'll make
700.
So they reckon they're going to turn a little bit of a profit on it.
I think it could make $1 billion, possibly.
700 mil, I think.
700.
Yep.
You don't think it'll push?
It's
up?
following a very disastrous few years for DC.
You don't think
Jason Momoa? It's the only thing that's captivated me because he's someone new.
Well, I like the idea of
Game of Thrones. You know, he's
I like
a good
the idea
actor.
of Wonder
He
Woman.
is a very big actor.
Who was in Game of Thrones? Was he like the
Drago?
Yeah, Khal Drogo.
Drogo.
He's one of the leaders of the Dothraki.
Yeah. Daenerys. He has sex with Daenerys.
Yes.
That guy.
Yes. Yeah. He's Daenerys' husband.
husband. That's it. Yeah. I think Gal Gadot, if they give her Wonder Woman character more screen time than the others.
Oh, yeah, Wonder Woman.
Because people are saying Superman's hardly going to be in it, especially since like it says he's dead or whatever.
He won't actually die.
No, and of course, yeah. But see, this is the thing where
you
there's
can't
like
beat Superman.
there's going to be no like plot twist. Like,
trust me, there are lots of ways to beat Superman.
How, Fro?
Well, for starters, the kryptonite spear they were going to use in Superman, Batman vs Superman. That's one.
That didn't work.
All you have to do is block off the sun. There's also you can get a red sun generator, which basically generates the sun from his planet, which. They are not powerful on their own.
Why hasn't anyone done this yet?
We're gonna have to.
No one knows about it yet. This is still, this is just all lore and stuff from the comics and everything.
We'll revisit this once the movie comes out, and we'll have a review of it.
So 700 mil. What do you think, Nathan?
I'll say maybe $1 billion. I'm just gonna go like
Billion?
far out there. I think
Okay,
it might
billion?
tip $1 billion. It might be the first $1 billion DC movie.
Fro?
I'm not the right person to ask.
Just shoot for the stars.
I'll agree with Sean on the 700 mil.
Okay.
700 mil.
It could
$1
even be a
bill.
flop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Could be a flop.
500.
What do we think score-wise? This is a very.
Well, if I'm
hard
saying
guess,
a bill,
but-
I'll have to say maybe 3.5 to 4. I'll say 4. I'll just go all out. I'll say it'll be 4. It'll be a great movie.
4 stars.
Even though I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll say 3.
I'm just
right
gonna
down
take
the
a
middle.
risk.
Right
Yep.
down the middle. Just,
I'm hoping for a 4, but
Yeah.
it could end up a 2. Like, I mean,
Ooh,
based
wow.
on the way that the other movies have done, it could be something really bad or something really good.
yeah.
If it pulls through and does well, I'm
'Cause
going to take that.
I remember watching the trailer and it seemed really messy. Like the trailer was really,
Yeah.
really strange and like I don't know. There was like these effects going on.
Yeah,
on the
there's
trailer. I
all
was
these
like,
monsters
oh,
and stuff and
Yeah.
whatnot.
It's like ugh, yucky, you know.
Is that your one-word review? Ugh,
Ugh.
yucky.
Ugh,
They
Sean.
did
That's
well
the caption.
with the trailer introducing each of the extra characters. They did well. I thought that was
Yes.
really well
Yep.
done.
100%.
But yeah, well, remains to be seen how it actually turns
Right.
out.
We'll see how we go.
And that's what's it called? Justice
Justice League.
League.
Justice League fights evil man just like before.
Not Spider-Man.
Not a original. Not Spider-Man.
Nathan.
I have nothing more to say.
Thank you for watching.
Why Should I Watch is a Skinny White Boy production. For more information, visit www.skinnywhiteboy.com.